Also, I heard that you toured Britain, UK at the end of '90, and I heard that there's been some threats in Britain as well, in England as well. What's that? Is that also Christian organizations?
That's Christians and these animal activist people. They don't like to kill animals, and they don't like that.
Okay, so that's. But are you going to play Britain anyway?
Of course.
Okay.
There's more death threats on my life.
Yeah.
I don't care, man. If they want to kill me, they know where I'm at.
About last time you played in
If I
Britain.
get that before they get me, then watch out, man, because I'll fucking kill you on the spot.
Yeah. When you played in the UK, I heard something about your bass was stolen. Is that right? Did you ever get it back? What happened back then? Somebody broke in or what?
We had a dressing room that was right by the front door, and somebody left the room for a couple of seconds, and that's all it took. Somebody took the guitar. But then later on in the show, some kid came up to me while I was walking on stage, came up to me and said something to me about I was an asshole for having a cross burned in my forehead. So basically I walked up on stage, put my other guitar, on stage, and went out in the crowd and attacked this kid. And then Eric followed and held him while I smashed his face into the ground.
But he was the one who stole your bass then, or what?
I don't think so, no. It was just some stupid fucking Brit that couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Okay.
I'd like to express his opinion verbally over a beer.
Yeah.
Can you get another little smoke something?
Before we move on to your new album, Legion, a little bit of history. I know you used to be called Amon back in the old days.
Yeah.
How come you changed your name? Was there another band who had the rights to Amon or what?
No, King Diamond used the name.
For the house, yeah.
And we didn't fucking really approve of that after that. But Deicide better describes what the fuck we're doing,
Yeah. That was one of my later questions. We might as well take that now. Obviously, you're very much into the occult. What do you think of a band like King Diamond?
I think he's a poser.
You don't like the music at all?
No, I think he's a poser.
How about...
I think he's got a bunch of bleach blondes playing in his band and he likes to suck their dicks.
I don't even think they're playing anymore. Anyway...
Yeah, they're pretty much over with.
What do you think of... there's a lot of pseudo-satanic bands who just use it as a gimmick, the old Slayer lyrics and so on. What do you think of that? Does that offend you?
I think that they're beating on a dead drum.
That's... Yeah, they've left it out pretty much.
I mean, I'm who I am, and if I was to take one of those people from a band that's using it for an image or something like that, if I was to take them into a ritual where I'm fucking controlling things, I don't think they would like it very much. They'd probably scare them back into Christianity or something.
Well, let's talk about Legion, your latest album. It's recorded in Morris sound, like the first album with Scott Burns, but you haven't really got the usual Morris sound. I read something about they got some new equipment over there, or something like that.
Yeah, they bought a fully automated board, dude.
Yeah. Were you the first band to use that? Because I think you've got a pretty special sound on the album.
Well, I think Nocturnish used it before us, but...
Yeah, okay, they were produced by some Morris, yeah.
Yeah, but we basically, what we do is we go for the raw sound, because that's what we sound the best is when we're raw, so we don't EQ. What we did on the first LP is we EQ'd the hell out of the fucking album. And with this album, we didn't EQ really anything, it's just you're hearing us. You're hearing everything straight,
Yeah.
Fucking EQ and everything, just the way it sounds when we play it.
Exactly. About the harmonizer effects you had on the first album on your vocals, you dropped them on the new album, so it's more raw. Yeah. Was that your choice because you say something like "fuck off" to the critics anyway?
Yeah, I don't need the effects. I'm low enough. I have a very low voice. Dogs. Only dogs can hear me. Sometimes I'm too low for them. But I didn't need the effects, But I just did it to add some accents on parts. And everybody fucking tore me a new asshole about it. So I said, this album, fuck you, I don't need them. I can just do it, whatever. Give it to you just the way it is and roll. and they still think there's a harmonizer on it. I know for a fact there's not.
Well, I heard your debut album sold more than 150,000 copies. Do you have any sales figures on Legion yet?
I think the first album sold like 100,000 up to date probably, and the second album, I don't know. I've heard it's 150,000. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't get.
That's worldwide.
I can't get a straight answer out of a record company.
Well, that's typical.
It's a record company.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Also, I heard that Satan Spawn, the Caco Daemon, the first song on the new album, is about your son and his life so far and so on. I was wondering, what's this Caco? What does that mean?
The Caco Daemon is Latin for evil demon.
Oh, that's evil. Okay. I don't know Latin.
Right, well, anyways, that song is basically, I wrote the first verse where it goes, shunned from the light, born into darkness, never knowing. Infinite shrine, spawn of the altar, crush mankind. I wrote that verse before he was even born.
And you've written the last?
I wrote the last verse after he was born.
Ah.
Like 2 days after he was born.
How old is he now?
17 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, yeah. There's been some talk like other big death metal acts like Morbid Angel Obituary from Florida as well was to be signed to major labels. I spoke to Obituary and they talked about a major label. Have you been contacted by any major labels yet? Would you be interested in signing to a major label?
I would much rather be on a minor label and just paid what a major label would pay you, because they're making the same, you know what I'm saying?
And you have more control?
Well, I have pretty much total control over everything we do. Shut that door, man.
You better control an independent label, yeah.
I just want a fair deal, and if 50% is not fair, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying? I don't want fucking somebody to hand me a fucking lump of change after all the hard work that I do, and exploiting me for who I am and what I am. And I think it's only fair that I get half of what is made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, half for the band, half for the record company and half for the band. And it's not like that. It's like fucking 95% theirs and 5% the band, and it's not like that. And I want a fair deal. So if the record company wants to give me a fair deal, then I'm interested in staying there.
But you don't have a fair deal with Roadrunner now, I don't suppose. Are you interested in changing labels?
No band on Road Racer has a fair deal.
No, okay.
No band on any record company probably has a fair deal. I just want, I don't know. I think that what I'm asking for is fair. And we have fucking families and things like that.
To support it, obviously.
So I mean, we can't fucking, who wants to do this shit, and who wants to have a fucking day job, and have to leave every fucking 30 days to go play a show. Who wants to do that? I think the record companies need to get off their asses and stop being so fucking greedy and give the bands what they're fucking, they're worth.
Deserve, yeah.
So I mean, if I'm selling the fucking albums that they're saying I'm selling, then I deserve half of what I'm selling, and that's what I want.
Obviously, that's why they don't want to tell you how many albums you sell. That's the general problem.
Even if I sold 50,000 albums, if I sold 50,000 albums, what's half of 50,000? 25,000. 25,000 split between 4 people is peanuts.
Yeah. Seeing that you prepare for the album for more than a year and so on.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're getting half of 150,000, that's $75,000. You split $75,000 between 4 people, and it's still not even $20,000 a piece. So you're getting less than that isn't fair. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, if a band is fucking, I mean, I do everything. I manage the band, I tour manage the band, I create all of our fucking logos, I fucking do all the lyrics, I write music. So, I mean, I work more than anybody else in the band. So, I get paid 5% more than anybody else, which is nothing, really. So that's just, the record companies need to fucking realize that, we're not a bunch of fucking teenagers out there doing this for shits and giggles. We do this because this is what we've done all of our lives. And if you're going to exploit us because of who we are, what we are, then you better fucking pay us all the money you're making on exploiting us.
Exactly. That's a general problem in the recording industry. Everybody's being exploited more or less for doing him. Well, anyway, yeah, like we were talking about. Yeah, I saw this documentary on censorship and so on called Dancing with the Devil a couple of months ago, something like that. There was some interview clips with you and some live clips with Deicide. What do you think of that broadcast? Did you see the full broadcast?
I can only stomach the only parts I can stomach is the parts that they did on us, basically.
You have seen the whole.
Yeah, I've seen the show. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Pretty stupid. Yeah.
A lot about the Judas Priest and Nazi problems as well. Yeah.
But then again, I mean, I guess it helps us out, you know.
Obviously.
We're fighting censorship, and that's one thing that our country needs to go.
Yeah, but anyway, negative press is better than no press as well, right?
No.
Don't you think so?
No, I hate negative press.
Okay, but you get mentioned that much more.
That's what it is. What it is, it turns out to be is a journalist gets bored and doesn't have anything better to say, so he turns on this negative attitude.
Yeah, but a program like that is broadcasted almost worldwide, get your name spread to a lot of new people and new.
That was good. I mean, I enjoyed the program. It was nothing that I would want to do every day.
Okay, just a few more questions. I read somewhere that you never go to any death metal shows in Florida. Don't you like the other death metal bands in Florida?
No, it's not that, man. I did my time in the scene, you know, hanging out, and that it's the same people every day. But see, it's not basically that I don't like to. I do go to shows every once, on a rare occasion I will go, you know. But basically, I live out in the country, and I do my own thing, and I don't have contact with outside people, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the only time that I have contact with the outside world. Basically, when I'm home, that's where I'm at.
Okay, so it's not that you don't like the other bands?
No, I think that I don't like the other bands. There's a few bands in Florida that talk too much shit. But, you know, other than that, you know, I'm not gonna go hang out with people that that are two-faced. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I'm not into that fucking, you know, that's plastic. And I'm not into plastic, man. I stay in my world where reality is fucking one with me.
Oh yeah, what do you think of, there's quite a new, almost wave of black metal bands like Dark Throne and Samael and Profanatica and so on. What do you think of that new wave? Do you respect those bands? Do you think they're good?
I say good luck.
Yeah.
If you got what somebody wants, and you got a good product, you're gonna fucking do it.
Yeah. Okay, then just a brief point about future plans. After you finish this tour just before Christmas, something like that, and are you going to write a new album, or are you going to tour the States, or? Well,
we just got off the tour of the States, 6 weeks in the United States, and what we're going to do now is get back to the house and just finish writing what we need to write and wrapping everything up. But we're going to spend a long time on doing what we're doing for Deicide 3. The third album's going to be longer, and we're going to be going back to what we are, and we're not going to let people fucking determine what we put on our album covers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you'll possibly see Armor and all that stuff on the third Deicide album.
Oh yeah, by the way, I've got some old videos from the UK tour and some shows from the States as well, where you play in Armor. I was wondering why you've dropped that pretty much now, haven't you?
No, basically we're just making new stuff, and a lot of bands and critics have made comments about that we need that Armor to be brutal. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They think that they're saying, making statements like, we need the Armor to be a brutal band. And what we're doing now is we're going to do a tour. We did the tour of the United States with no Armor, and we're going to do this tour with no Armor and no nothing. And we're just going to let the music speak for itself.
Yeah. But you're planning to pick up the Armor again?
Oh, we never dropped it. I make all that stuff.
Just to...
I make everybody in the bands. And when I get home, I'm going to get my welder out and start making some pretty scary stuff.
Yeah, but isn't it heavy to carry around, and isn't it uncomfortable to be on stage?
Well, it's more uncomfortable having some fan flying into you.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
And when you got that on, they don't want to fly into you, you know?
That's a good point. Okay.
It's like a human cheese grater.
Yeah.
Like a human really quick with it. And And if I'd stage dive with it, I would fuck up quite a few people. I got my boots, man. I mean, that's just a small example of my fucking
armor. Yeah.
I mean, I have massive fucking sets of armor that I make that are just made for fucking tearing people apart.
I saw that back in the old days, also the two guitarists had the armor on, so you're all going to be back in armor.
Well, I mean, we're gonna just prove to this fucking scene that we don't need that shit to be brutal. We wear it because we like to fuck people up.
So as soon as you prove it to the scene, you're going to pick it up again?
Of course.
Okay.
You just need to
When we
make
come
your
back
guitar
when Deicide
a
3,
sword.
when Deicide 3 comes through, the tour for the next album comes through, we're planning on big production of massive gore and just doing it right. You know, record companies don't want to give you enough money to do what you want. And we had to prove ourselves that we could tour, and we know we can tour.
Yeah,
so now they owe us, so we want the support to do the things we want to do, and let's make a fucking mess.
Do you think your third album will be on Roadrunner as well?
Let's hope so.
Okay, yeah. Do you have any last comments to our readers? That's just about all I have.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the show. I've never seen you live before. Other on video.
If you like Deicide music, man, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. How many songs do you play of the new song? The new album?
We usually play
Satan's Spawn.
Satan's Spawn,
Deception.
Fiction, Early Deception, Depth Dreaming.
And Hill at Brent, do you play that?
I don't know. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
Please do. That'd be cool.
Don't tell me, man. Tell the rest of the band.
Okay. Another thing, we're video fanatics as well. I'd very much like to tape the show. I won't sell it. I usually trade.
Sure, you want.
Yeah, of course I can say that.
Yeah.
Well.
If you want to tape it, man, for yourself, you can do it.
Yeah. That's great. I really would like to.
I don't mind, man. People tape.
Yeah. Great. Can I trade it to other people, or should I keep it to myself? I won't sell it, but can I trade it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Go ahead, man. I know what the thing's all about. A couple of my best friends are tape traders.
Yeah. I'm a fanatic video trader.
Do you know Ken Carnage in Florida?
No, I trade with a guy called John Verica, and I think he's in New York. Also, very black metal interested. He films a lot of shows as well. And
a friend of mine has just like fucking thousands and thousands of tapes. You name it, he's got it. I mean, he sneaks them into big shows. He goes on the road.
Prøv at spørge, om du kan få adressen til ham, så kan han jo bare snakke ind i.
Yeah, does he trade videos as well? Could I have his address?
Give me your address and I could fucking
cool.
He moves around a lot. So we can tell where he's at in 1 minute. Do I want the front?
Yeah, on the front.
Ja, det lyder sådan i hvert fald.
I met one of the people from Mayhem the other night.
From Mayhem?
Yeah.
Norway, yeah.
The guys in Therion last night were thinking that Mayhem were the ones that set off the bomb. Because they don't like Therion.
I didn't know there was a war there.
Yeah, well, who knows?
Yeah.
All I know is I met him and...
Was it any serious or just a little bomb or?
It blew a fucking hole in the wall.
Wall?
Yeah, they were trying to take the wall down. Yeah, it wasn't small. It wasn't no firecrackers, man. It was fucking bomb. TNT.
TNT?
I heard there was a lot of fighting between the crowd and the police.
Ja, der var den. Hvad vil der